Good morning, everyone. This is Ron Mays, the Acting Executive Director of the USRC, and congratulations to everyone. This is our first formal training seminar on P58 methodology. My intent with this first segment is really just to overview rating system and the process. I don't want to get into too much detail at all, but for those that have not been involved, I sort of want to set the stage for the certification process and the rating process so you know what's coming. USRC was established to implement rating systems that describe the performance of buildings during earthquake and hopefully for other natural hazards at a later point. The role of the USRC is similar to that of the U.S. Green Building Council that it has played for the last 24 years for sustainable design, and I hope we have as much success as they do. We have a structure to promote rating credibility and educate the public about seismic hazards. And the intent of the USRC really is to get all the stakeholder groups that are concerned about into leadership and advisory positions. Hey, can you turn off the background, Kurt? There's a lot of noise coming through.
Got it out last night about 9 o'clock.
Okay, and we do hope that in the future that the system will apply to hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and blasts. So the intent of the structure of the USRC is to be a slim, trim organization, somewhat akin to the Applied Technology Council, where we have a board of directors, an executive director, and maybe one or two staff members. But all of the work is to be done outside of the USRC. We have a technical advisory committee that has developed the material that we're about to cover today. We have a stakeholders advisory group of about 45 people that will use the system. And most importantly, at the bottom, we have technical reviewers and certified raters that will be the ones that do the rating system and do the technical review. So that's what we're here for today, to start that process. There are two additional key committees. The certification committee is a committee responsible for assessing qualifications of both raters and technical reviewers. And then we have a ratings review committee that is responsible for assigning technical reviewers to projects and adjudicating any technical and discipline issues. So the intent of the rating system is to address the communication problem that exists for our profession in predicting and conveying the earthquake performance of a building and its implications. We know this is a difficult task, and the intent of the rating system is to solve that problem. And many people have mistaken beliefs about what our current code means for performance. The public in general believes buildings will perform better than they actually will, and we know. And many people think a code design building is, quote, an earthquake-proof building, when we know that's what we're not delivering. So the USRC rating system is a solution to address this issue, and I think it's going to do a very good job. The system itself has three dimensions: the safety, repair cost, and recovery. And each of the three dimensions has 5 thresholds. You will see in the implementation manual, these are summaries of those 5 thresholds, and the words have been developed very carefully, and Kurt will get into the details of how these will be applied to the FEMA P58 process. But you can look in the implementation manual for the longer definitions of each of these 5 thresholds. What are the intent, or what does a rating mean? It's intended to correspond to the average performance given a single earthquake with ground shaking, of that used approximately for the design of a new building. We spent a lot of time on the appropriate level, earthquake level, and the ratings are going to be all based on a 10% and 50-year event for the ratings. We realize that this is sort of a design earthquake level, not a maximum credible level, and we would hope that raters will have a conversation with the owner or the people that you will be preparing ratings for, and explain that this is the design level earthquake, not the maximum level, and they may be interested in how it would perform in the larger event. But the rating system itself is the 10 and 50-year event. And clearly we're well aware that a prediction is not a promise, and the degree of uncertainty differs for each of the three dimensions, but I think everyone agrees that this is a very good starting point. So on the left, we have many technical standards, national standards. We're using two of them, FEMA P58 and the ASC 41 standards. We have one rating system, and then there will be, as we see it, multiple rating programs where cities or corporations or universities will use the three dimensions as tools for defining the rating program that they intend to use. So we're focused here on the FEMA P58 methodology and the ASC 3141 translation. So we have two rating types. The NONA rating, they select the certified professional, and they need to decide whether they want a verified rating. This is a rating that is available for display on building and marketing material, and every project is technically reviewed. A transaction rating is for the financial and real estate market. 1 in every 7 projects is technically reviewed. A transaction rating is limited to 3 stars and the 3 dimensions, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the verified rating is permitted for public display and marketing materials. It has to be performed by a certified professional. Every project is technically reviewed. We have requirements where an elevated review will be performed. The verified rating is clearly transparent in that we're using national standards, and where we hope we have a system set up where 2 different firms going through assessing the same building should get close to the same answer. And the credibility of the system clearly is incredibly important, and we've set it up to prevent gaming. And we hope that it's very easy for the layperson to understand. The intent of the transaction rating is to be the eventual replacement of a PML, which is really a broken system and puts our financial system at risk. It's limited to 3 stars, and it's not permitted for public display. It has to be performed by a certified professional, and it's subject to a random technical review. 1 out of every 7 projects approximately will be technically reviewed after the rating is submitted. Again, it's using national standards that's set up to prevent gaming of the system, and we hope in time it will be portable and not everyone involved in a real estate transaction will need to get their own rating. The pricing, transaction rating varies from $700 to $1,200, and that includes the cost of 1 in 7 ratings subjected to a technical review. It does not include the cost to perform the evaluation by the certified professional. And the verified rating cost is 5 cents a square foot with a minimum of $5,000 and a maximum of $25,000. That includes the cost of the technical or elevated review, and it does not include the cost to perform the evaluation. the cost of the lead rating is somewhere between $7,000 and $33,000. So we have the USRC as the implementation organization. The rating system is the 3 dimensions and 5 thresholds. And then we have the 2 evaluation methodologies, and we're focused on EMA P58. The rating process is the owner engages a certified rater. They perform the engineering evaluation and determine the preliminary USRC rating, and then that is submitted on the portal as an application for either a transaction or verified rating. For the transaction rating, USRC will determine the completeness of the application and then will issue the rating certificate for a transaction rating. The random technical review will be performed at a later date, and projects will be selected randomly out of the number of projects done by a certified rater. On the verified rating, again, the USRC will determine the completeness of the application, will determine whether either a technical or elevated review is required, and that process will be performed before the USRC issues the verified rating certificate. Now, I sent out yesterday the implementation manual that can be downloaded from the web, and it provides all the detail that you need to know about the process and the technical aspects of the rating system. So Chapter 2 is the process, covers the technical and elevated review, what is covered, the confirmation of the rating by the USRC, and the rating type. So Chapter 3 of the document covers the definitions, the underlying methodologies, the rating scope, the time limits, and translating the underlying evaluations. The rating requests the submission. Chapter 4 provides the executive summary that's required, and then the detailed submittal and what the rating certificates look like. So Appendix A is the rating certificates. I'll show you those in a minute. Appendix B covers in detail the certification, discipline, and appeals policies. Appendix C shows you the rating review procedures for the 2 methodologies. Appendix D is the ASC 31 evaluation methodology itself. It's a translation, and that will be covered in another seminar. Appendix E covers the details of the changes made to FEMA P58, so it's applicable to the USRC rating system. And Appendix F is just a summary of the people that participated. So the submittal has 2 parts, the executive summary. There'll be a standardized format available on the portal, and then the detailed information is delineated in the implementation manual, and we're just sort of trying to decide the sequence and how the stamping and signing of the reports will be done. So this is the rating certificate for a verified rating. The top is the material for the definition of the building and what the rating is, the definitions. The backside talks about the review and the confidentiality, the limitations, and the related documents that were used. I sent out yesterday some of the material that you can use for clients and architects, and to try and encourage people to start rating their buildings. We've got the 10 major misconception piece, which is probably one of the best received marketing pieces that I've been involved in. It's gone out to fairly wide distribution and was well received. One on what is the USRC, what is the USRC rating, the benefits of a a verified rating and a benefits of the transaction rating. And if your firm is not currently a founding member and but you do want to be involved as a sustaining member, we now have the sustaining membership categories for anyone interested, and we would welcome new members. So with that, I will hand back to Kurt, and he will get us going on the P58 methodology.